My code won't run. Where am I? Who am I? Who are y'all?
Hello, Linus. Are you in need of assistance?
Sure. Who's Linus? Oh,
Hi, my name is Tiffany.
My name is Javeli.
My name is Suri.
my name's Linus.
And we are here to show you that AI cares. We have devised a product today where we are able to utilize different facial recognition models to help Alzheimer patients and those who have suffered memory loss to help them recognize their loved ones. Now, in the skit that you saw earlier, it's more of a light-hearted kind of scenario, but what inspired us to take on this project is that when I was younger, I had a great-grandmother who was unfortunately diagnosed with Alzheimer's later in life. And slowly over time, what me and my family began to notice is that she began to lose her memory, and she was not able to recognize her family members and friends and those around her who she'd known for most of her life. And so it was very heartbreaking, especially for my grandparents and parents, because they've lived with her for almost their entire lives. And so we wanted to take inspiration to try to make a change and use AI to better the world.
In the United States, there are 7.2 million people 65 and older who deal with Alzheimer's disease. It is honestly a heartbreaking disease that not only affects the individual, but also affects the loved ones. It affects their family members, their caregivers. It affects a system of people. And the best way to support them is by developing apps such as the one we did.
So introducing EyeRemember. EyeRemember is a revolutionary mobile app for those who are dealing with Alzheimer, dementia, or general memory loss. It helps these patients recognize their family, their friends, and just overall better their quality of life, which can help them be able to feel less of these frustrations with dealing with involuntary memory loss and be able to spend more time with their families, friends, and loved ones.
So it works by first taking the photos, and then it will compare the database with the photo that is being taken, and then if the person is never detected before, it will add a name and descriptions so that the data can record the person. And then the third step is to generate facial embeddings inside the database so that it helps the patients to recall.
The camera returns a set amount of frames per second. Each frame is looked at and ran through a model so that we can identify all the people in the photo. Each of those people are then ran through another model so that we could find their embeddings. We compare those embeddings with the previously uploaded pictures of people, like relatives, friends, family, and we compare the two. If they're similar enough, or they identify with each other, so they're like the same person, then we return on the screen the name of the person, a description, and their relation to the person.
So here's a deeper elaboration on the backend. We utilize OpenVINO as pre-trained models for facial detection and re-identification, such as face detection ADAS0001 and face re-identification retail 0095. These are both to be run on Intel Tigris platforms, which will then allow us to compare face embeddings using cosine similarity, one of the functions that we coded, in addition to many others which will be able to process the image, which is each frame which is inputted during when the web camera or mobile camera is running, and then it will process that and return the embeddings, which will be then used to compare with those that are currently in the profile dictionary, which will allow us to connect the name to the face. It is very efficient and is able to run on a device, is fully online and private since no internet is needed. Everyone is also able to have a custom data set of their own family and friends, and it is able to be stored, and so it will not need to be consistently inputted as new information. And as you can see here, this is what happens when we run our Flask app, and it shows that it outputs the embedding of our Linus detection.
For the front-end section, one of the biggest parts of this project was probably connecting the phone camera and our application. That was done through different reference points and different frame captures. There was also the issue of having to flip the camera for forward view and back view, and having to connect the camera with backend was also a pretty big issue, but we worked through it.
We use several functional camera components for the front end. First, we use facing, which is decided if the camera is assessing the front of the phone or back of the phone camera. And then second, permission is to handle the access of permission to the phone's actual camera. And photo is where the latest photos can be stored in. And then camera reference is to give reference to the actual camera, allowing to control directly, while the last component is interval ref, which prevents memory leaking.
Due to the time crunch, we weren't able to implement everything we wanted. So in the future, we want to add more to the user profile, so you can upload more information, like contact information, maybe their age. Yeah.
And we would love the opportunity to be able to develop a physical model using Glassage, which would be able to help create a seamless integration of this incredibly helpful feature and product in the lives of many individuals, which could significantly increase their quality of life and allow them to be able to fully enjoy their time with their family, friends, and loved ones without having to worry about not being able to recognize them too.
For families affected by Alzheimer's, every connection matters. Our app doesn't just recognize faces, it helps restore a sense of familiarity, comfort, dignity. It helps maintain the connection between family members, and it helps people with Alzheimer's regain their self-autonomy.
Make sure to remember, EyeRemember.
And with your support, we can receive the necessary funding in order to ensure that this product can fully go through development. We will be able to utilize the funds in order to fully develop our product and be able to get the circuit components, camera, and frames in order to make this a real viable product.
This was EyeRemember. I hope we continue helping people remember.
AI that cares.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.